Well, good early morning, all you sexy stackers out there across the globe. Hopefully, we get a little bit of the European audience. Maybe we'll check it in every now and then here. I'm not sure. But we are experiencing an absolute bloodbath on the precious metals markets. And we're going to do I was waking up with you. What's up, sober stacker? Mike is what's going on? I was waking up with you guys. Well, actually, honestly, I woke up around 1 a.m. and I've been kind of just relaxing, catching some YouTube and trying to educate a little bit from the videos I was watching, and kept checking the markets. Like, man, this is gonna be a bad day. It's gonna be a bad day, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So here we are. Current market update: gold is down 6.5% at $5,040. Silver is down 14.2%. And we will switch over to some charts soon. Under $100 at $99.08. Platinum is down 14.4%. $380 drop down to $2,257. Palladium's down 10.28%, down to $1,789. That is quite a drop, but also this is not, again, nobody likes somebody who said I told you so, but a lot of people that were not entirely driven by the hype train saw a couple corrections in our pipeline, right? Like, let's be real. It's a drop. It's a crash, I guess you could say. And I'll show some of this new stuff. These are the new pickups I bought at all-time highs, so I thought it's worth pulling out, when you buy gold and silver at all-time highs, even graded silver at all-time highs, why can't you? Might as well show it because you already bought it. Let me switch over here to this screen so you guys can see what we're talking about here. All right, I'm trying to wake up with you guys. I sold out 2 days ago from my leveraged funds. Phew, what funds were you leveraged in? Were you trading futures? Were you trading options on margin? What were you up to? Do you think this will literally test its new bottom of $60? Oh, you think it's gonna go down to $60, Raphael? What's up? Welcome, Raphael, by the way. Thanks for being here. I don't know. I don't think in one day, Raphael. And you sound like somebody that's more into the trading aspect of this, which will be fun because that's what I'm going to really be looking at mostly today. But I do kind of feel what I get what you're saying with being the correction being about 50%. I understand where you're coming from that, from historical values of these gigantic run-ups. And those happened over a few days, right? But they were also, I do think they were different. They were, they were, bad actors in a lot of cases. And there was a little bit of differences in the market and things like that. But I do think these types of corrections are healthy. In fact, I've been kind of looking at potential entry points for swing trades. So get in there. I did not sell at the tops. I did not sell at, 118.50 or whatever it was exactly on the top. But I sold some silver at like 100 back when it was first breaching 100. I sold some silver at 110. I sold some silver back when it was, 80 and 90. So I've been selling small positions of physical silver on the way up, but I've also been buying. I've been just kind of converting, I guess would be the better. I mean, I'm selling the silver, but I was converting it into gold. And I had said on this channel, I don't even know how many times I've said on the channel that I was converting from silver to gold because I felt like when there was a collapse or when there was a correction, that I would have more time to react with gold than silver, because you can tell, like, they're just moving. They're moving in the same direction, up the same, they're not the same speed, but like it's like half. It's less than half, right? So that's good. What's going on, Mr. Happy Stacker? Thanks for being here. I think breaking the ceiling at $50 after 40 years is its new floor range. Okay, I can see that. If this is serious correction, it can go right back to baseline. I am still long pieces of dollar devaluation, supply deficit, new tech needing more silver. Exactly. Yeah, Raphael, you're giving the state for why this correction isn't going to be like a total collapse. And I do agree with you. I got a lot of charts up here. We're gonna get into. I mean, if you guys like, you're gonna get a window into my morning. Like, look, this was like an obvious swing trade right here. I couldn't get into it right now because trading hours, but this was an obvious swing trade. And I want to show you kind of how we look at this. We have this massive drop. Right? And then you come down here and you look, you see that the MACD crossovers, we see that we're hitting the RSI down here. We hit a very low RSI at 27, signaling that it's oversold. Then on the correction here, we have the MACD crossover into the positive. We've got that sustained for a couple candles of volume here. That was just a very obvious swing trade. Now, how high will this go before it falls back again? I don't know. We will wait for the indicators to tell you that. But so this is kind of like these are the things that like you live for. Honestly, as like a swing trader, you just wait for some giant moves like this, because volatility and volume are a blessing for trading. So that's what we're looking at here. I mean, we can even see that we're still kind of over the nine moving average right here, which is a good sign. If we drop below that, probably be an indicator for us to sell off a position here. So anyway, there is a trading world in this as well. And now people talk about diamond hands. I'm with you, man. Like my net asset value of precious metals has only been going up for years, right? Just like everybody else here. The point though is that like it's like okay to trade in and out of things. Like you can be diamond hands, and right now, we're talking about $100 silver. It ain't like we're talking about $25 silver or $16 silver right now. So everybody's still doing awesome on their precious metals. So there's nothing about that. How we doing here? NMAM, Namam, nice to meet you. This all seems engineered. The fundamental story has not changed. Well, it is all engineered. It's been all engineered. You got to understand, like, you can't get mad or disgruntled about these massive swings down and be ecstatic and excited for the massive swings up, because guess what? Those are engineered as well, right? This is the way markets work, and the more money and attention that are in these markets, the more you see these kinds of swings. So don't really don't change your strategy. It might just be an opportunity more than anything, is how I see it. I was talking about seeing a potential head and shoulders pattern as well that I didn't hear too much being talked about. It's ugly. Okay, I give you that. You can make the case that this was an ugly head and shoulders, but let me show you what I was looking at. I was kind of looking at this right here. Like you could say that would be like the left shoulder, that would be like your head, and that would be your really short right shoulder. I mean, ideally these would be about symmetrical, but the problem with this is what happened here is we kind of broke that neckline pretty hard. I mean, so I think today is going to be a bad day. Let's just say that. I think today's going to stay a bad day. I know the poll is up there. I shouldn't try to sway the poll opinion while I'm doing this, but I don't see this being a day where we correct back to 110 or anything like that, like we have been doing. So anyway, let me clean up this ugly chart. I like to draw ugly charts for all of you out there that are just joining or the first time you're here. We talk about gold and silver. At the end of the day, I'm like you guys are talking about. I'm long. I'm long all this stuff, just like everybody else. In fact, when I say that I sell silver, I'll switch back over to this screen. When I'm saying that I'm sell silver, I'm selling like nickels and dimes, man. I'm selling legitimately 90% quarters for like 5% under spot, and then I'm going and buying gold with it, like, or or like better stuff, like the graded coins and things, and like I bought some half ounce bullion recently just because I felt like fractional might be the way to go. In fact, if we stay below 100, there's a chance I might go and buy. Actually, I'm considering buying about 50 more of these at the half ounce 999 half ouncers, just because I believe more in, obviously bullion is highly liquid, but I think that fractional is the way to go because we're talking about long term, guys, right? Like long term, if we're looking at like 5+ to 10+ years from now, I don't think this day is going to matter, right? This is just something to talk about today because it's happening today and it's relevant with a booming market. Can I get this crap off my screen? Thank you. It's relevant. It's relevant in a market like we've been having over the last day. I mean, this is no joke. This is let's put this into perspective. Now when we're talking percentages, it's not unheard of to have 15% swings in the past. This is right now almost, basically a $17 swing. $17. That was the like average price from what 2021 to 2023 or something. Like we lost the entire value of that in one moment here. Greg Olson, what's going on? I'm glad you got the giveaway, sir. Appreciate you very much. I do see this. I do see this as an opportunity to buy silver, but I also am not going to be surprised if we do have another leg or two down. Typically, these things like to come in 3 legs if they're like a serious withdrawal. So I will see what happens there. I will be watching this very closely. In fact, if you're here this morning, I'm going to go a little slower today just because we got plenty of time. I got plenty of time, hours before I really need to get up and get ready for work. Daughter's school is canceled because of the icy, freezing conditions. They haven't even been able to clear roads and sidewalks and stuff. So I got some time to just sit back, drink my tea here, relax, make some coffee in a little bit, that kind of thing. So we're at 99.05 in silver. Also, a lot of you guys, I'm seeing a lot of new names in the chat, so welcome. Thanks for being here for your first time. We're just kind of talking, kicking it on this stuff. But here's what I'm looking at too. Remember when I said that I thought we would get to $100 and that $100 would be the absolute beatdown level? I felt like that we would not be able to stay above $100 for a long time, that we were going to get suppressed and beaten down. But that didn't happen. I was completely wrong about that. But you know what? Hey, look at that. We're back. Maybe I just didn't have the time frames right. We'll see. We'll see what time will tell if I'm right or wrong. And the reason I thought that is because I felt like it was a pretty monumentous, like, psychological barrier that people wouldn't really want to get through, but we'll see what happens. Virginia Trailer Trash. Nice name. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see what you guys are talking about. How about your opinion that so many banks, funds have massive short positions that need to get out? They need this crash. Yeah, it could very well, Raphael, it could very well be just some simple coup d'etat on the CME group, right? Just clearing out, letting them get an opportunity to clear some positions. But the thing about banks, though, is banks play all sides of the coin, right? So they can be long and short at the same time. They can move into short positions to lock in their gains from their long positions as like a reverse hedge kind of thing, and so that they can literally lock in their valuation at that point by saying, okay, if it goes down, we're going to make this much. If it goes up, we're going to make this much, and it just literally locks. Minus their opportunity cost of time, which they can liquidate pretty quick. So there's a lot going on here. I don't know. I don't think this is that. I know I'm running a video on it right now, but I don't think this is actually that big of a deal. Now, if it happens for 3 more days at 15%, that's something to talk about, right? That's something that would get me pretty concerned. But this, I don't know. I keep referring to this dumb chart, and I'm like, guys, like, did we really not think that there was going to be a pullback at some point here? Like, did anybody really look at this and go, hey, what's going to happen is SLV is going to continue to look like this for the next 5 years. No, nobody. Oh, like some old lines here. Nobody thought that in their heart of hearts. They may have wanted it to go up indefinitely, but it's not going to. Now, the day hasn't even closed yet, so I can't talk as if like this is locked in as a negative for the entire day's trading or week's trading. But yesterday was kind of like a little bit of an indicator of, I think, of what was going to happen. We even talked about it yesterday in our Discord, saying like, hey, this looks like people are trying to like lock in positions before this weekend. I wonder if this signals something else, like just because all markets are kind of down right now. Look at crypto. Crypto's getting hammered. The stock market's getting hit pretty hard. Gold and silver are getting hit pretty hard. When I see full on, again, this is just all my opinion, guys. Oh, I didn't switch the screen. I apologize. Let me switch back to the screen. If you're also, you guys keep me honest. If I'm talking about charts and stuff and I'm not showing the right screen, just remind me. Just real quick, disclaimer time while we're talking about this, but every central bank in the world, including the Fed, is owned by the same group of owners. Banks made all the rules and know how to break them. Yeah, well, also, by the way, Greg Olson, they made these rules. The people responsible for, holding them accountable for these rules sit on their boards. There's a lot of conflicts of interest. And not only that, but when you're dealing with trillions of dollars, they tend to let you do things because you can just pay people off and they don't care. The rules exist to keep the normal folk from interfering with the elite folks' businesses, right? We are unusually warm still, waiting for our first snow. Nestled between the Cascades and the Rockies. Nice, man, nice. I was playing AGQ. Luckily, I had to travel yesterday and did not take a position. Didn't you clear out? Or no, somebody was saying, somebody else was saying that they cleared out of their position like a day or two ago, which is, that's the way, again, that's what trading's about, right? You get into a position, when you start to believe that it's overbought and overhyped, you can exit that position. There's nothing wrong with locking in profits. Don't be so greedy that you're trying to time tops perfectly. Just be happy taking profits all the way up. And then, wait for a correction like this. And so what I'm doing is like, I'm not anxious to get back in, right? Like, there's some obvious swing trade, like every freaking indicator, large volume, dipped down, stretches down to your moving averages, MACD crossover, RSI signals. Like you can't get much clearer about the swing trade right here. But unfortunately, the timing's not great right now. We'll see what happens. Markets open up. That chart's really not helpful, is it? With all the lines all over it. This is continuations of what we've been talking about. It's kind of funny. Let's go to the 5-day. Maybe that'll be easier. I don't even know what lines I was drawing. Sometimes I don't even know. Yeah, so we'll check in. Let's check with real quick. I want to see what base metals are doing as well. Copper. I have this theory with copper. Copper's hanging in there above $6. I have this theory with copper that they do not ever want this sucker to go above like $6. And every time it does, it gets completely slammed down. Look at this. What are we going here? How high are we going? 650 was the highest. Yeah, I was just curious what the height was on copper, but yeah, even copper has trouble, and it always gets stuck with these beat downs. If we go to like the 5-year, oh my gosh, these charts are killing me. I wish it would just auto size on this thing. You can see these massive beat downs, and I have a feeling that copper's due for one pretty soon here, as it's had a pretty good run up here. Now this was just a wick, wasn't a full candle, but we're seeing that crazy stuff here. So we're kind of just relaxing again, enjoying. I guess probably not the right word to use, but just enjoying the these websites suck. By the way, they need to put a little bit more time into development on these things. Yeah. So let me get shot up. What are y'all thinking? What are y'all seeing? How's everybody doing? Good morning. We're doing fantastic. Walter, thanks for checking. Good morning, the real Gear Up Survival. I can tell who lives on the East Coast and who lives on the West Coast by who actually shows up right now. Let me see. Anything new going on? I'm buying anything, it's gold. Yeah, I mean, Greg Golson, that's my long term. My long term is gold. Silver is kind of like, I mean, I still think it's great for like a barter tool in a world where we do possibly have like, what is with this just everything. Thank you. These websites, man, they're driving me nuts. Why you stick to like actual real paid tools? um, Gold's my long term. Silver's like one of those things that, you know, if the currency collapse kind of world or hyperinflation is so much that, you know, the dollar can't buy much anymore and like people need to trade precious metals and such, bartering. That's what I have a lot of my silver and my 90% for. But really, I've been selling my undesirable silver and converting it to gold for almost the last, I don't know, like 2 months now. Once we started getting some, like, once we started going above 80, I was kind of like shifting out because the GSR at that point was switching into like the low 60s and 50s. And that's when I kind of full on switched to like a focus on gold. So here we are. Scape Egg, what's up, buddy? Is there any information why all markets across the board go down? Actually, that's kind of what I was talking about before I got distracted. So we can revisit that in a second here. This is an unnatural fall. It will bounce back. It's high time to buy again for silver. The Mando Dad, yeah. I mean, again, the rise, like let's not kid ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not kid ourselves. The run up was unnatural too. A lot of people like to make like explanations for things that corroborate our own thoughts, and then make kind of like excuses for things that go against our thoughts. The run up was unnatural, right? Just as unnatural as the pullback was. It's the same stuff. It's the same people. It's large governments purchasing things on markets, right? Contracts. It's massive funds spending billions of dollars, right? It's massive industry spending hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Like, those are the players that have the money to move markets trillions of dollars. And when you see, just like Scape Egg was asking, and I think Scape Egg is alluding to the real concern for me, when you see crypto massively down, the stock market massively down, precious metals massively down, and it's all on the same days at the same time, moving in the same pattern and trajectory, it kind of answers the question, doesn't it? Like, what's going on? Like, it's not some tweet somewhere. It's not something crazy. It's just institutional movers and shakers who have a lot more information than you and I have, who have a lot more money than you and I have. I've decided what they're going to do. And the why will probably never come out, but we will all guess and speculate as to the why. It could be maybe the US is going to bomb Iran this weekend, and all of these people want to be out of the markets before, you know, SHTF happens overseas. I don't know. Maybe the upcoming government shutdown is like, you know, Poly Markets got it at like 90% or something crazy. And like, I don't know, maybe something's going on where they know there's going to be a shutdown coming up soon. Like, man, who knows? I don't know. But it's fun to guess. I'm with you. It's fun to like speculate as to the whys of all this stuff. But at the end of the day, a lot of money moves things up and a lot of money moves things down, and they take profits both ways at whatever they deem fit. And we're just on the, you know, we're just on the trailer while they pull it along, and we just get in and out. That's all we do. We get in and out where we deem fit. And if you are a diamond hands person and you're just always buying, then you'd be a fool not to look at these dips. And like if you're a diamond hands person that's always looking to buy, like, you should buy today, not 2 days ago, right? Like, it's pretty clear. Like, you should be buying today. And if it goes down another 10-20% tomorrow, buy some more tomorrow. People like to say that they're dollar cost averagers, but I mean, you can also buy when it's going down. Like, that's when true dollar cost averaging actually makes an impact, is when prices are falling. That strategy actually makes it better for you. So, yeah, we'll see what people's reaction to this is. I'm just, I appreciate it. Also, by the way, thanks everybody for hopping in here. This is kind of what we do here. We just relax, hang out, talk about things, ask questions to each other. have a conversation about these things. Everybody's got different perspectives, different ideas, and yeah, I call my trading cleaning rich people's tables. I call my trading cleaning rich people's tables. I love it. Yeah, I mean, so you kind of like, is your point there, Virginia trailer trash? Like every now and then you just take a piece of food off their plate when you're cleaning the table. Keep that for yourself. Is that the analogy here? Uh, by the way, the sell-off started in China and India. China, I believe, did a trading halt to try and control the prices, and that spooked the market here. Yeah, that happens, Raphael. In fact, I was curious. Part of the reason why I'm monitoring this, and it's hard to really tell. I mean, honestly, some of these other, I'm curious to see if the Comex is going to issue any sort of like circuit breakers, because they're really quick, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but when silver price is running up 10% like this in an hour, they're very quick to have a circuit breaker trip and to halt trading when it's going up. So I'm curious if they're going to be doing it when it's going down. And they may have, because honestly, the price hasn't changed all that much. Oh, never mind. Maybe it's not hot refreshing. All right, there we go. We're back up. So maybe it wasn't hot refreshing, because I was about to say it looks like we may have hit a circuit breaker, but nope. There's still plenty of volume across the board here. And I don't know. I find that just very interesting. Don't you? That we can have a massive collapse like this overnight and no automated circuit breakers get tripped. But then we go up 5% in one day in December, and all of a sudden we have to shut down an entire database. Like, what is that about? What is this? What is this stuff that they're doing? It's so crazy. Take the crumbs. Okay. Yep. I thought that's what you were saying, VA. It makes sense. I like it. We are flying in economy class. Yeah, exactly. These are my people. I appreciate you guys. It seems like you guys are right along with me in what I'm trying to say. Good stuff. Good stuff. What are we talking about, Greg Olson? No iPhone or data center can be made without it. What is that? The US has a wild card in all this. The only source of silica 999 pure, which is needed to make the high-grade computer chips, only found in North Carolina. Don't we also have like a pretty good source of quartz, which is used for a lot of that stuff too? So we do have some pieces of the pie, but we don't have all the pieces, Greg. A lot goes into all these nice little computer chips and servers and processors and GPUs and all that kind of stuff. So we need it. Listening from work. Keep it running. Faithful Sergeant SRT. Faithful SR. What is F8? Is it F8? I don't know. Faithful is what we're gonna say. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, enjoy your work day. Hopefully it goes well and smooth. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing natural about the markets anymore. The markets are all just. I hope that, I think that a lot of gold and silver pure players, that you just bought gold and silver and that was your savings account and that was your investment account and that's your retirement fund. I respect it, but I think that you guys haven't had to deal with this kind of crap that much. Like, I know there's been a couple years where you've had some crazy stuff happen. This is the kind of stuff that happens in most modern day markets because of fractional buying, free trading. So there's no there's no barrier to entry to get in and out of these markets. There's very low trading fees and trading costs. No market minimums on a lot of this stuff. Like, all of these little things have been things that most other investors have had to deal with their entire lives. And now the gold and silver market, I feel like over the last few months, has gotten a chance to see what it's like when the trillionaire funds do everything in their power to just constantly trade it left and right, up and down, always left and right. Like, it is what it is. Like, this is just part of it. Yes, there's going to be bounces up, there's going to be bounces down. If you're a swing trader, man, I'm telling you, like, I wish markets were open right this second. Even I would, they're just like, I don't know, man. I'm just looking at some of this stuff going, dang, there's some time right now. But it's running out quick. But there will be more. I think there's going to be a little bit more bounces throughout the day. So I'm planning on honestly sitting here at the computer most of today, and just swing trading certain things up and down. I'm not going to say everything that it is, because, also, by the way, anything I'm showing on the screen, just for full disclaimer, if I'm showing any symbols or stocks or anything on the screen, just make the assumption that I own it, and that you can lose everything that you own. You'll lose all your money if you trade and you follow my advice. Okay, so don't follow my advice. All right, this is not advice. This is just me talking about what I'm going to be doing. Raphael, no, they love the price going down. It helps cover their paper game. But Raphael, they have the other game too. You can look at the CME contract payouts. We do that on this channel every now and then. We go into the PDF files where they show you which banks and which financial institutions are delivering silver and receiving silver and all of that. You can't see, like, I don't have every open trade, but they play both sides. They don't just short it. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what? Like, it's funny. It's like even places like Scottsdale Mint, they short the Comex silver's futures too, guys. You know why they do that? Because if they have a massive inventory position at a really high price, they can short the Comex so that if silver tanks, they make profits on the paper trade that they've lost in their quote unquote physical valuation, right? Like, it's just this is what happens. Like, don't be shocked. Don't be angry. Like, don't worry about it. I know there's a clickbaity title that like silver's crashing, right? I mean, technically, I would say a 15% drop is a crash, and anybody that wants to argue with me, we can talk about that. But I think that would be considered a crash in any market, any asset. However, I don't think it's honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me. Drive for diabetes awareness. I think that's a good point. So what he says here is he's saying pawn shops lost a ton if they sell what they got at a higher price. So yeah, and not just pawn shops, right? Local coin shops, local bullion dealers, if they are selling, excuse me, let me go to a little bit better of a chart. Y'all can actually see what's going on here in real time. If those coins, yeah, we actually talked about this just recently. On one of my most recent live streams, we discussed the local coin shop, dichotomy of how they can't offload their silver right now to refiners and wholesalers. And I went so far as to say that I thought this could be a situation that wipes out local coin shops if it persists like another 8 to 12 months because of just primarily liquidity, stress, and risk, right? And what your point is, Drive for Diabetes, is like, let's say I was a coin shop and just 5 days ago, right, I was buying silver because I'm a good coin shop that appreciates my customers, right? Let's say I was buying silver like all in this range, right? Around whatever, 115 or whatever. That's what, 10, I don't know, $5 back from spot, maybe a little bit in this range here. And now I'm opening my doors today and everybody's selling when prices are up here because a lot of people are smart and they say, hey, you know what, prices are at all times highs. I'm going to go ahead and offload some of my silver and sell. And then guess what happens is all the buyers, like all the savvy people in this live stream, we come in and we say, oh, silver is down $15 today. This looks like a great opportunity to come in and buy. So now we go into this local coin shop or bullion dealer and we're like, I want to buy everything that you've got close to spot. They can't be like, hey, I'm going to tack on $10 over spot for generics and 90% because you'll piss off your customers. You might be able to get by with like a couple bucks, $2 or $3, but you can't go massive. So let's say they're buying at 100, but they're really paying 103. You're still losing that $12 per ounce, man. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. Y'all buying gold or silver today? Brandon, I'm buying gold today. But if you do believe silver's gonna bounce back really strong, it would make sense to go with silver and be like, hey, I'm gonna lock in that 15% potential gain if we go back to the highs. But for me, I'm more focused on gold, Brandon. This morning I told my wife, flash crash. Her response: we have been expecting this correction, right? Dude, Steve, John, yeah, your wife knows the game, or you're very open and honest about your investing and trading. I'm the same way with my wife. I bore the heck out of her talking about precious metals and investments in general because we do real estate, stocks, crypto, collectibles, pretty much everything, right? So I just bore her to death almost every day talking about something that she's not interested in, but she does listen, and she's kind of like what your wife just said. We this was expected, right? But like, yeah, we've talked about when we talk about historic run-ups every single day, going up 5 to 8 to 10% every day. It's okay to have a 15% correction. They make the quartz out of the silica. Oh, okay, I got you, Greg. I got you, Greg. Um, I'm reading through the chat right now. If you guys are wondering what's going on, I don't think the U.S. has control of metals anymore. The U.S. ever had control of metals? Like, honestly, I mean, it's just nobody cared. If you bought high, just hold. You lose nothing if you can't gain lots. Yeah, drive or whatever. I mean, hold, shift into something else. I wouldn't be selling at this point. I think selling personally. I think selling is the wrong play, but you do you. Everybody has got a different situation. I can't speak for what you should be doing, but for me, I don't see this as a selling opportunity. I see this as an opportunity, if anything else, to buy. To buy that 10-ounce bar or something that you've been holding off on, or to go buy that tube of ASEs or something. This is what the opportunity that I see. But hey, again, everybody can do whatever they want. You need to research it. Spruce Pine Mine, North Carolina, only source in the world. So even if another country figures out the quartz crystal process, they still need our silica. Nice. All right. Well, I would imagine, Greg Olson, the way that will work out is we will trade our silica for things that we need from other nations that we may not have access to, right? That would be kind of probably the right idea. Stretch it. Let's stretch it a little, make it a little bit more fun to watch. There we go. We'll keep the live ticker up there, up above 100.3. So we are having that very. God, is there any more obvious of a freaking swing trade that could have? I'm so mad. Now, what we're looking for is it's going to get drawn back to this 50-day moving average, and the question's going to be, will it break underneath it? But my God, see, these are the charts that I kind of just play with for tech and swing trades. And I'm sorry, but when I look at this was just so perfect, man. It's just riding the bottom of the RSI in the 20-30 range. MACD crosses over perfectly. We've got strong volume support. I'm actually kind of mad that I couldn't get in this trade right here and buy some options and just run them up until it crosses back down on the negative. But oh well, this one got by us. We'll have to wait for the next one, right? Or we'll wait for the reverse cross and we'll get it on the downside. But man, it doesn't get much like freaking more clear than this. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Good morning, Red Cloud, my man. Good to see you, buddy. This is what happens when you treat metals like the stock market. Well, that absolutely, Happy Stack. This is what is going on. I love my antique finish Libertads. Very nice, very nice. I like that. Josh expects 4-digit silver. Yeah, 4-digit silver. I guess. That 4-digit silver is a lot. That would be maybe like 10, 15 years from now. I can see that. I don't see that anytime soon, personally. To crash it on my payday. Dr. Green Thumb, I like that. Yeah, crash it on payday. I guess this is probably payday for a lot of people, right? I love it. Good stuff, man. I'm open and honest with her. She's always saying silver again. yeah, I know. There's that meme that came out, Steve John. There's that meme that came out where it's like $20 silver and your wife is like shaking her head at you and scowling at you. And then it says $40 silver. It's like, oh, this is our silver or something like that. And then when silver gets to $80, she's like, my silver, and she takes it all or something like that. It's kind of the funny thing. Red Cloud, this isn't cardboard. No, this is not cardboard. Thank the Lord, it's not cardboard anymore. Pressburg Mint has some outstanding looking stuff. Pressburg Mint, I've actually never seen that mint. I'll have to check that out sometime. Do they do the fractional silver, like the half ouncers and the quarter ouncers? I was referring to the CME not triggering a breaker for sell as they do. Oh yeah, isn't it crazy? Am I the only one that's noticed that? Right? We all know 100% that if silver had gone up 15% in like an hour or two, there would have been at least a 30-minute halt of trading, at least. And if it resumed at that level, they probably would have halted it for another hour. So that's where I'm at. Andika Perkasa, nice to meet you. Welcome. Personally, for me, this is a buy signal. We've already. I'm curious to see how many more times we test this bounce here. I think there's going to be a couple more trading going on here. Now I'm expecting today to be a high opportunity to trade. If you're trading paper, trading the SLV and stuff like that, or futures, maybe. I don't deal with futures. I've done it before. A little too much price action for this man's stomach to take. But there we are. I hope you come back for Warlord Carback. Oh, dude, Scape Egg, I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. I thought that stuff was supposed to be here late December or January, and we're looking at February, and it's still not arrived, but we'll wait and see. I don't think Pressburg does fractional. Incredible looking bars and coins. Just unreal beauty stuff. Pressburg Mint. All right, you've got me interested. Give me a second. Pressburg Mint. Let's see what they got. You guys want to check out Pressburg Mint since it's being talked about? You don't work for Pressburg Mint, do you? All right, let me see. Let me swing it over here and check out what they got going on. Pressburg Mint. World Money Fair. Are they in Germany? Or did they just go there?
Stay a while.
There's some stuff. That's nice. Mr. Fuzzy Balls, my man. I recognize your name from Thousand Air Radio's channel. Welcome and thank you for subscribing to the channel. Okay. Oh wow, yeah, that's neat. Is this okay? So that's really cool. I like that is really neat. Thanks for bringing these people up. I don't know that I'm going to buy from them. I got to do some research into them. Is this a European company? Because it's talking about excluding VAT. I see it priced in dollars, but at the same time, I don't know where they're from. But yeah, I really like that design though, especially with the gold-plated silver piece. Actually looks really nice, and I like that they use that sort of like architectural style that's pretty popular right now with like the asymmetrical, edges with the fine security lines. Very nice stuff. Like, I don't know what's going on the border, if that's like floral or what, but they do look very nice. Thanks for bringing them up. Yeah, we'll have to check them out sometime. Maybe I'll go on eBay and see if they've got some stuff floating around out there. They're on AppMex, so they sell their stuff through AppMex, it looks like. Okay. Yeah, good mint. Thanks for bringing it up. They really do have like some really nice fine details. Reminds me of Germania, honestly. Just initial look at this looks like Germania mint to me, with just that super fine detail that makes me go like, how did they do this?
Because no one is selling at the Comex price anymore. All the prices are more in line with Shanghai's price.
Awesome. Fuzzy Balls, thank you so much for your generosity there. I appreciate the $5 super chat here. So what he says is, the Comex price is irrelevant because no one is selling at the Comex price anymore. All the prices are more in line with Shanghai's price. So you're looking at more of like that arbitrage opportunity where simply because we are significantly under what the Shanghai prices are at, that naturally we're going to like kind of rise back up to them. It's just games, man. This is just money games these people play. Oh, Red Cloud, welcome back, dude. 2 years, 20 months you've been a channel member here. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you always being around. Thank you so much. It has been a wild ride. Yeah, it's always going to be a wild ride. Anybody who actually has an opinion and says it and doesn't have like sponsor fence riding kind of credentials, like, it's always a wild ride. That's all I can say. It will be a wild ride for sure. I've been checking eBay for deals since it was under 100 and the prices are the same as of right now. Interesting. So Emery's is saying the prices on eBay have not, the sellers have not adjusted to these current prices, which is probably smart because, you might go to bed one day and it's, 118 and you wake up in the morning and it's 100 and then by the next day it's 115 again, right? So you probably don't want to fluctuate your prices too much and miss some of that upside potential there, right? What's going on? Mogo, welcome. What's going on with silver? Should I buy more now? You do whatever the heck is within your budget that you want to do. But I can tell you this, I will be doing two things today. I will be making trades on the SOV throughout the day, and I will be purchasing physical silver in some capacity, either through peer-to-peer, or if I can't find what I want through peer-to-peer, I'm honestly looking for these kind of things, guys. I can actually, there's not much going on with the silver price right now. Can you want to switch over and check out some metals with me?
Stay a while and listen.
Want to check out my metals? Yes, it's a Hemi. Yeah, it's a Hemi. Welcome, welcome. 123 Elvis lives. Thumbs up from Geelong, Australia. Welcome. Wow. Elvis says he who holds the silver and gold wins. That's what a lot of people would say. See, he holds the gold and silver wins. Here we go. This is my verdict, guys. Actually, that's understatement. I'll be real with you. This is actually my verdict on where I'm at. Stonks. I think this is a great buying opportunity, and I wouldn't care if it fell. Like, if I bought today at 100 and maybe my average cost was like 102, I actually wouldn't care if it fell back down to like $80 tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, I would be right in there, happy as a clam, picking this up. But I'll show you guys some of the stuff I picked up. This stuff arrived, I don't know, yesterday or the day before, sometime this week. I went and picked it up. And these are, I really love these. These are what I'm calling baby ASEs, right? So what we have here is a failure to focus. What is so hard about this? Okay, there we go. So I'm calling these my baby American Silver Eagles. So these are half ounce. They are not U.S. minted, right? So these are like, I don't know what's it say right there. Money metals exchange. So 1/2 ounce of fine silver. I love this design. This is my favorite. One of my favorite designs. Walking Liberty. American Silver Eagles, all that kind of stuff. So I'm picking these up because I think that silver is going to continue to go up. I think it's going to eventually be 150, 200, or more. Some people want like a lot more, but I think that these half ouncers are going to just, I was buying, 1 ouncers at $18 a piece. So it kind of makes sense to me to pick up these now that they're $50. So I picked up a few of those. I'm really excited about this in my collection. It's like, okay, I get that this isn't like the most fancy, crazy thing, but if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Hey, what's up, Tuli? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm a big proponent of collecting 90% constitutional silver and the Stop the Melt campaign kind of things. And so I have a pretty big collection of American, Walking Liberties, Franklin's, some Barbers. I've got my books, my albums that I'm filling out. Anyway, this was a nice MS65 Walker Liberty, so $50. So I was just excited to pick this up. So anyway, there you go. Something new that I just picked up. I like this coin a lot, and yeah, obviously, like in today's price, overpaid, but hopefully it changes. And then these little guys, I told y'all I've been kind of like transferring some of my constitutional peer-to-peer selling. So hopefully they don't melt it or anything. But anyway, I've been picking up some of these little, fractional golds, grams, half grams, tenths, pesos, dos pesos, $2.50 Indian heads, stuff like that. So that's what my strategy's been, is kind of transferring some silver that I don't really like as much into things, and I collect $50. So that's what I've been doing. So here we go. There we go. There's some of the pickups. Hopefully those are interesting. I don't know if they're interesting or not. In 5 years, $1,100 an ounce. Oh, also my ring, if you can't tell, probably can't tell. But this ring is actually a Walking Liberty $50 ring as well. So we gotta be the $50 king, half pint king. Silver needs to hit $80 so I can buy 20K of it. Yeah, Vendetta. I know what you're talking about, Vendetta, and I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I've been a little bit slower on my purchasing of silver, simply because I knew that these prices are crazy, but I didn't want to sell too much, because if I sold silver, it has to go into something else. And so it had to go into either more premium silver, which is what you're seeing here, or it went into gold, which is what you're seeing here. So this is literally a double transaction. You could call it a trade, but I sold silver at one point, and then I bought this stuff with it. And I know some of it's silver, so it's like, what are you doing? I sold some stuff I don't really care about for some stuff that I actually am interested in. As simple as that for me. Do I lose some on the spread? Sure, I don't really care. but I think long term it'll be good. But I have slowed down. I was crazy in last summer through December. I was buying like crazy, crazy amount of ounces and silver going into that. And here we are, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it, but I do kind of miss the fact that I'm making a T-shirt. Funny enough, I'm making a T-shirt that's gonna say, it's literally just gonna say on the back, "I miss $50 silver 2025." How
No
sad
one
is
is
that?
selling to America at those prices, which means the silver supply in America shrinks, which means silver stackers win.
Yeah, Fuzzy Balls, thank you again, man. You don't have to super chat, Fuzzy. I can get your messages just through a normal chat. But I do appreciate the support there for sure. Yeah, so what you're saying, Fuzzy, is that because they are doing this arbitrage, or they're, these foreign entities, foreign central banks and foreign government sovereign nations are purchasing our silver from us, that it's exiting the country, and therefore the actual physical supply of silver is going to continue to shrink in the US. I did hear recently on a very good interview. I'll find it one day. Maybe we do like a little bit like watch along where we do like commentary on it. It was really good. It was the CEO of Apmex talking to the CEO of Scottsdale Mint. And in what he said to me was that, or what he said to me, Jesus, it's too early for your boy. Okay, this is pretty early for me. What he said in the video was that he has plenty of inventory. Atmex said the same thing, that they had been purchasing up inventory anticipating this kind of a move. Scottsdale Mint said that he had plenty of silver ready to go for his mint operations. And he said that the US Mint has plenty of silver right now as well. Now, those will continue. The deficit will continue to happen, right? Industrial demand and all that stuff will continue to happen. It's been going that way for, 5 years? So I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Man, I am still mad that I wasn't able to take this just absolutely glaring swing trade right here. I'm sorry to be angry about this, but this was just the perfect setup for. Okay, I'm back over here. Yeah, so that was just that was interesting to me to see how far in advance they had been planned. But the CEO of Scottsdale Mint went on to say that he still thinks this is just the beginning, that he predicts by like 2032 that's where like it's really going to have been like the fruits of our labor for what we're doing today. Drive for Diabetes says that I'm holding on to my silver until it hits $500 an ounce. That's a big number. Again, everybody's different. I don't ever disparage anybody for selling or anything like that. That's not what I do on this channel. I think everybody has their own strategies, their own plans. It is what it is, right? I don't really care what anybody does with their silver. And at the end of the day, to be quite honest, us as the retail level, us individual buyers and sellers, we don't control the markets. We could all sell all of our silver and it really wouldn't make a difference. We could buy all the silver at our local coin shop. It really wouldn't make a difference. So we can do whatever we want. That ring that you have on looks like the ring from Lord of the Rings when they cut off his finger and the big dude on the dragon. Yeah, I actually cleaned it up because it was pretty tarnished and dirty, to be honest. Not tarnished, but dirty. And so it was easier to see the details on it. Also, my camera's trash. It's not a trash camera, but it just gives trash images when I want it to show a good one. But I cleaned it up because I wanted it to look more like a silver ring. But yeah, it's got, Liberty and, In God We Trust, and the date and such on the obverse, I guess, of the ring. I can buy silver from Temu. I would not recommend it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't recommend you go to Temu for your silver and gold trading. Absolutely not. Paper market will lose the battle. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome. The paper market will lose the battle. Well, I mean, I guess the paper market will just have to adjust accordingly. And in reality, what I think is that it will end up ultimately going much, much higher on the paper market. I mean, we're already having a correction, guys, from a $96 floor here of something like 17%. We've already recovered a pretty serious amount. I am still so mad that I wasn't able to get in on this trade right here. I mean, this is just these kind of setups are just like, they're just so ripe. I'm not gonna let that up for the rest of the morning. I don't think either. Silver lives matter. Gotcha. We'll see what happens. Silica is much more important than silver. The internet cannot expand without it. Yeah, but Greg, there's not a really good way to buy. So even though it's important, if there's like, what are we gonna do? Go buy a silica company or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just not a good way to purchase it, especially as on the retail level. So we'll see what happens. I'd say my next trade point. I've been really focused on the GSRs, more of like where I'm putting my money, whether it's gold or silver. My next trade point will probably be 125. When we get to 125, I'll trade some more silver in for gold. And then after that, it'll be 150. And then after 150, I don't know. I don't know. Vegas Stacker, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Suraj Patel, welcome back.
Stay a while and listen.
$80 silver today. I don't know about that, brother. I don't think we hit $80 today. Is it in theory? Is it possible this next week? Yeah, I could see that. You know, if we have let's say a 10% down today, a 10% down tomorrow, I could do that. Couch Tom, thank you for the subscription, and Dan Smat, thank you for the subscription. Hope you guys enjoy the channel. We do this a couple times. Also tonight, we got a double header today, boys and girls. We have a double header tonight. I have a couple friends of the channel. One of them's in this chat right now, TFT, and another one named Crafty Fox. And we are going to be getting on a podcast this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to discuss multiple different SHTF scenarios. And while discussing those scenarios, it's going to be kind of like, we're going to discuss scenarios with the audience. It's going to be a live podcast. So we'll discuss scenarios, each of the 3 scenarios that we kind of think are the most pertinent that could happen in our future. And then kind of like, what would the outcomes of those scenarios be, right? Like, what would the, first week look like? What would the first month look like? What would the first 3 to 6 months look like? How would you prepare? What supplies or what items would be most pertinent for those things, right? And then we would shift, right? We would shift into the next one or just have discussion on whatever people want to. So, yeah. I got my silver for $15 an ounce. So you got your silver for $15 an ounce and you're not selling until $500. You are looking for the big money right there. Just remember though, right? Just remember, right? Bulls make money, bears make money, hogs get slaughtered. So just be careful. All right, silver and gold have the same swings as always. It just seems like more because the price is high. Greg Olson, it's because it's all traded in a bundle of goods, right? So, and now that bundle of goods, by the way, includes stocks and includes crypto. So the same funds that control trillions of dollars, right? They buy all of these assets up and then they trade them. In bundles of portfolios. So you will see a lot of these assets trade in continuity, right? The same swings. It may not be the exact same percentages up and down, but you'll see them trade in the same general pattern. And that's what you've got to kind of be careful about. Does that make sense? So that's why you see, like, it used to be, I would say probably 15, 20 years ago, right? Gold and silver used to be very like detached from the stock market. And almost in a lot of ways, they were the inverse of the stock market, right? They're almost like a volatility index or something, right? So when the markets would go booming, that normally would indicate a booming, thriving economy, which were bringing gold and silver down. That all that polarity is just gone. That way of thinking, I think, is just dead and never to return. I think that now we have to look at just bundles of assets as bundles of assets. They all trade together. And while the assets are in the spotlight and they're part of people's portfolios and funds, they just trade in the same direction. And now you just factor in like algorithmic bot trading that trades on news, trades on momentum swings, trades all this stuff. Like it's just why you have these dynamic price movements that don't feel natural, right? We've heard the word unnatural a few times today. Um, the reason they don't feel natural is because you're just not used to these types of swings. But if you traded in a lot of other types of markets, you've seen this stuff before. A low roller scratcher is copper next to pump. So I've been watching copper. I do own copper in a few different ways. I own it in paper, but I also own it like this right here. Pretty sure I just scratched the heck out of my ring, but oh well. I've also got these guys, these big old huge bars of copper. I've got smaller bars of copper, and I've got obviously the pre-1982, 95% copper pennies, those types of things. So I think copper's a good spot. I think copper's had a pretty good trend line over the years, but it's just not, honestly, copper is just not, to me, worth the weight of investment. And even if it goes up, let's say copper went from whatever it's at right now, $5.90, $6 per pound, up to $20 per pound. Like, you got to have a lot of poundage to even let it really make a dent. And so I'm not too interested in it, to be honest, but I do think copper's got a lot of utility, obviously. It's just also massively recycled and abundantly available. So that has that kind of, I don't know, it kind of hurts it a little bit in terms of, I think it's like reasonable expectations of growth. Good morning, Walter. Always appreciate Walter in Vegas. All you guys, thanks for being here. A lot of you guys have been coming in a whole lot, so thanks. Silver is acting like crypto. Well, yeah, I mean, they can't argue with that, because right now it's all acting the same. And that's, again, back to my point. I know some of you guys are like talking about stuff like ahead of where I'm at. You had a feeling $120 was going to be a barrier, Vegas. My gut was, and I everything I say, like, I've already stated once or twice, on different videos or different people's channels, but I thought 100 was going to be that level. So I thought the resistance level was going to be back here when we first broke 100, and we just blew through it. We had like an hour of resistance, and then we just ignored it forever, right? So for me, I didn't expect us to run up to 120 so quick, personally. I thought this was our resistance level, and as long as we don't get rejected back down and we stay down, I would argue that we've probably found it as like 100 is like a support level now. But we'll wait and see. Half a day or a few hours overnight isn't enough for me to really determine this. But we are definitely going to be. I mean, there's nothing that's going to stop the level of volatility that we've been seeing. Nothing. It's going to keep happening. It's going to be part of our lives for, I would say, probably for at least 5 more years. This type of volatility is going to just be part of it. I don't think it gets down to 50. I think we could see swings down to like the 90s and 80s, and then back up to the 100s. Like, I don't see that as unrealistic, because a 10% move, it doesn't take much to move 10%. Every day is blessed day. Hope you are doing that. Heck yeah. God bless you guys. Appreciate you being here. It is definitely like a day that we can wake up and we can hang out together and we can talk about precious metals and we can talk about our net worth, and we've got our family and friends next to us. Can't get much worse than that, right? Don't sleep on the platinum to silver ratio. Platinum got bamboozled too, so it was funny. They pretty much moved in parallel. Let me see if I can pull it up here for you guys. Yeah, so all day today, the whole day, by the way, platinum and silver have moved in lockstep parallel, even when they were both down 16-17% earlier. I took a screenshot with my cell phone. I can pull it up later, but they're in lockstep right now. So I guess, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing if you're a platinum believer, but there we go. Hope maybe they'll disjoint and platinum will go up faster than silver again. I don't know. And honestly, actually all 3 of them have kind of been moving the same pattern. Just obviously gold is almost, a third of the movement, but it still was doing the same thing. It was around 6.5% when we were at 17%. So it was still in the same relative change as these other ones. So yep, they're all kind of just, again, they're moving as one asset class right now. So back to $50 ounce silver. I don't think so. Not yet. The bigger the arbitrage, the better for us. Yeah, fuzzy balls. You're really talking about the Shanghai exchange, and yeah, if Shanghai's not exporting silver easily, and so I mean, just I would imagine, like, let's say that you lived in, a city. You had city A that you lived in, and it was 10 miles away, and you had city B that you could go to, but it was 500 miles away. If silver's only $1 or $2 difference between both stores, A and B, it's not worth the 500-mile drive, right? But if silver is different by $15 or $10, well, brother, it might be worth that 500-mile drive. You get it? And that's the same thing. If we have global open markets, then it kind of works like that, like in our local scene, right? So, yeah, I could see people wanting to stand for delivery for silver in the USA and then to just sell it to other places in the world that are paying more. I could see that for sure. Also, let me pull up my favorite chart for you guys to explain it. One thing I talk about quite often is how I believe that March is going to be the absolute D-Day of silver. And here's again why. They still aren't showing the deliveries, and that's bothering me. This is direct from the CME group, okay? Let me get caught up real quick before I go into this chart. Talking about nothing, nothing, always reacting with 3 or more different reasons why something crashed. It's a game. All the gold and silver physical people sound dumb. Thanks, Brian, for being here. Appreciate you. Thanks for your comments there. Literally, I'm saying that I have literal videos where I say, ignore the noise. It's all just noise. We all just speculate and guess as to why people try to figure out. But Brian, have a great day, and I'll hopefully never see you again. Got to get back to my day. Take care. Thanks for hopping in, Tuli. Money can't be printed. That is legal tender, not the same thing, and actually illegal. Yeah, the promissory notes backed by nothing. If you guys really want to have fun, with currencies, go read the Genius Act that was passed into law by the United States government and read what it says about the stable coins that they're going to adopt and how they are backed by the US dollar. That's going to be real fun. Will they keep adding more dollars into, they keep adding more dollars to the circulation, lowering interest rates, which is supposed to spur productivity. The other problem, like let's be realistic here. If they were to do quantitative easing tactics and those, dollars were to go into the system, right? And they were to be lended out to manufacturing companies and businesses and things that created economic efficiencies to increase production and global exports and all that kind of stuff, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal, because we would be producing something of value, paying back those lended dollars, right, that the banks lend out to increase the growth here. The problem I see, though, is that all this quantitative easing seems to just be going into like government pork and BS that doesn't actually produce anything, that just gets cycled back to itself or back into pockets of people who don't do anything with it. Therefore, there's no GDP growth. There's no like export growth. There's no business growth. It's just money just being cycled back around. And so I think that's the biggest problem I have with what's going on with inflation, more so than it being printed in itself. Yeah. BR wants a JPM to buy again under 38. I might have missed. What do you think will happen when New York markets open? I think we'll have a little bit of a pullback, Jack Salisbury. My guess would be a little bit of a pullback, because we're actually kind of coming off of a correction right here. So we've got a little bit of a rebound right now, and that rebound in itself is starting to hit the overbought territory on this rebound. So it wouldn't be shocking to me, right here. I don't know if you can see this chart too well, but right here we're coming up against the 50-day moving average. on this chart. And so I would not be actually surprised if we, again, and then now we're starting to close underneath on the 1 minute. We're starting to close underneath the 9-day moving average, and we're hitting, quote unquote, what could be a resistance area here at the 50-day moving average on the 5-minute chart. So my prediction would be that we do have a drop pretty soon here, but who knows? Who knows? A $4 difference in 8-mile drive here. That's actually not bad, Greg. I mean, you're probably taking the 8-mile trip to get the $4, right? I'm still a little bit getting caught up. India is paying $30 more. Wow. But I like my guy Metal Sons comes in here and just says it straight up. He says, trim the fat, get to the point, go buy the dip. Again, I can't tell anybody what to do with their money. We're all in different situations. I can tell you this, though. I am going to be absolutely trading on the market on a few different stocks and ETFs. And I'm going to absolutely be placing a buy order either through peer-to-peer networks, eBay, or online bullion dealers myself. Absolutely. Good morning from the West. Tana Stacker, thanks for being here. What do you think is going to happen at US Open? Going back up and down. I think we're going to go down at the US Open, Canna. I do. I feel like some of this stuff's just been waiting to happen. Pressure's been waiting to happen. You know what I mean? Every stable coin used is a gain in the U.S. gold reserve. You think that they're going to be backed all by gold? Is that what you're thinking? I am a kind of smoker. Nice. It's a good pullback, great opportunity. Andy Goldie, I'm with you. I think most of us, healthy dip building a base. Yeah, I mean, a lot of you guys, I think we all kind of see the same things, right? You wouldn't be logging into a YouTube live stream about silver and gold at 6:30 in the morning on Eastern time if you didn't have a belief in silver and gold, right? Not many want to come in, not many people are going to log on to this and check it out if they hate precious metals and they want them to go down, right? So I believe that everybody here, it's probably easiest to just be like, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy. But again, everybody has their own plan, and we are still up significantly, right? Like, if you were buying, even if you were buying last November, you were buying for like what, $70, and you're already up $30. That's like a 40% growth. That's pretty awesome. Also, thank you guys, all of you that are popping in here with the subscribes and following the channel now. Ogar, welcome, and that guy Brooker, thanks for being here. Or that guy Brooke, sorry. Appreciate you guys very much. I do agree, though. I mean, this is the dip. Like, anybody who has been saying that they are looking for an opportunity to buy the dip, now would be the dip. Hey, Vegas Stacker gifted a channel membership. Thank you so much, Vegas Stacker. Appreciate you, dude, so much. Absolutely. Brian, I don't think Brian's still here, but maybe he is. Do you think any stocks or commodities are comparable to how metals have been used during social or economic turmoil, such as a failing state? Oh, TFT just going at people. No metal wars in the chat, please. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really care. Yeah, I mean, God, I am still. Can I just be salty? Like, I am still so salty that I wasn't able to trade this just glaringly obvious swing trade right here back up. Man, I am angry. we like watched it happen. We just sat here and we just watched it happen. Every single freaking indicator and alarm could be going off to signal a buy signal, and we just couldn't do anything about it. It sucks. We'll see. Another subscriber there, Athena Malonis. Welcome. Thanks for being here. All right. What a haircut. Yeah, exactly, Brooke. What a haircut. So what I was saying is that anybody who was looking at this chart for the last month, right, and you were sitting there telling yourself, I really wish we got a pullback. I really wish we got a pullback. I mean, that's the pullback. I don't know what else to say. If you're somebody that was looking for a pullback to get back in and buy, I don't know what else to do. Like, X marks the spot. That is your pullback. That is your opening. Now, can you get to the LCS right this second and buy, or hop on? I guess, the online bullion dealers adjust dynamic pricing based on current prices plus a couple bucks, right? So you could probably do it that way. If you're really interested in it. I'm not advocating for SD bullion. No sponsorships here, but they were just the first one that popped in my head. But yeah, I mean, they have dynamic pricing. whereas like eBay doesn't. Peer-to-peer like listings have to be updated, and obviously you'd have to wait for your LCS to open. Most of them around here open around like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, you get in there. But yeah, like this is what I'm looking at. It's stuff like this. I want to buy like, I kind of want to buy like 50 of these, to be honest. So I kind of waiting, but this is that is the pullback.
Stay a while and listen.
That is the pullback right there in this Grand Canyon's drawing. That's all that you got. Lonnie plans. I would be happy with the $85 base, and then it's dude. I am dude or dudette, I don't know, but I am in the exact same boat as you.
This is an important message. The Chinese have been flooding the American market with counterfeit ASEs. In fact, the OSA is now the most counterfeited coin, and the quality keeps getting better.
Well, how do you, Fuzzy? Thank you again. You're being too kind with the super chats. I do appreciate it, but again, I try to read all the messages. You don't have to super chat. I definitely appreciate your generosity, though. It does help the channel a lot. Hello, purified water. Welcome, first time here. Thanks for being here. You just subbed as well, USA 4540. I don't know why. I apologize if I missed your subscription. Sometimes it alerts me, sometimes it doesn't. It may be delayed, but I do appreciate it. Howdy from Canada, Zoop.
Stay a while and listen.
So, what I was gonna say, Fuzzy, is how do you know, like, what is currently the plan to not get a counterfeit? Like, what do you like? I mean, obviously you can test. I think silver's probably the easiest metal to test. You could even get like the Pocket Pinger app and stuff like that. It's free, and you can test a lot of metals. You can take the dimensions and the weight. Like, that's another good test. But how are they getting into the market? Are they actually selling them on, legitimate bullion dealer sites? Or are they all selling them through like eBay accounts that are like obviously fake? No, I don't know what to say. Like no scores, no ratings, no sales. Like, is it obvious, or is it actually a problem? Outmex is out of Silver Eagles. I always wonder about that Meister Bojangles, and I think I understand what you're alluding to here. Is it even possible to buy this dip? Lenny, yeah, Lenny, hopefully again, I'm a little behind on the comments, so I'm trying to, but hopefully what I just showed you is a way to buy the dip. You could go online right this second, and you could buy from an online bullion dealer if you believe the price is going to keep going up. Again, I think that we're probably going to have a slight little dip here soon. We stayed above. Actually, we recovered. Never mind. Things have changed in the last few minutes. We have recovered, but I will say that we are starting to hit, quote unquote, again, what would be kind of considered a little bit more of the overbought territory in the smaller time frame charting. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a little bit of a dip down. We're talking $1 here or there. Like, it's not going to make a big difference when we're down $18, right? So I think there is opportunity to get in there. But if you have a local coin shop that you're super loyal to, I don't know, you might have to call them up or something when they open and just say, hey, I want to come by. Can I lock in a price? I'm coming down to buy this X number of dollars. Also, thank you, Sheep Doge Elon Chewy. I think this man is into altcoins, and James Leader, thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys subscribing as well. I've been stacking since 2005, but just started buying SLV to day trade. And yeah, Meister Bojangles. So I think I know what you were getting at earlier, and I don't find that shocking at all. That when prices dip dramatically, certain inventory items get pulled off the websites and pulled off the market so that they can wait for them to go back up before they, oh, look, here we go. They're back in stock. Amazingly, they're back in stock. Guys, I have no idea what happened. Yeah, I do think that the shenanigans like that will be happening. I don't want to know how many people bought face tunics. Is it safe assumption that your LCS has tested everything and is selling? I don't think that it's a safe assumption. Paying stockpiles. Good morning, sir. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. I don't think it's wrong in this climate. You're paying $5,000 an ounce for gold, and you're paying $100 an ounce for silver. I'm sorry, but I think it's fair to ask your coin shop to test the metals when you're buying them these days, because their inventory turnover has to be massive, right? You get my point there is they have to be buying and selling and buying and selling and buying and selling constantly. And I bet there's often times with the amount of volume that they're dealing with in the store that they might not even have really the full time to test in some situations before they've got a buyer going like, hey, I saw that guy just brought in a bunch of ASCs. I'll buy them from you. I don't know. I think right now I'd be comfortable asking them to throw everything up on a Sigma before I put them in that pouch. And I'd be willing to even pay like $1 more an ounce just to make, if they had a problem with it, just to make sure. I don't think it's a bad idea. Just to pull back, not a crash. I know, original Scott free. I understand it's a clickbaity title. I mean, I'll be honest though. So right now we're at a 10.5% loss. When I started the live stream, guys, we were down 17%. And I think that a 17% drop in any market in the entire globe is considered a crash. Dr. Deeb, thanks for the subscription as well. So I feel comfortable with the title at the time that I made it, saying it was a silver crash. I feel absolutely comfortable saying that. You know what I mean? I don't know anybody that would argue that. But now 10%, it's still kind of a crash, but it's definitely a pullback. And I think it is, personally for me, it's a good opportunity to get in there. AppMax has 2,026 ASCs for $118 for if you buy 10,000. Goodness gracious. But AppMax, you have to spend what, $500 right now? That's not that bad. That guy Brooks says $103.75 silver. Yes, we are right there, 103.04, 103.26 on the current active trades according to Kitco prices. So creeping back up, coming back up, making it up. My LCS tested the silver. I traded in for platinum. Yeah, it's not rude for the LCS to test we got Dotson says a 20% in 24 hours is a crash, not 17% in an hour. I got it. Okay, I got it. I see the difference. Thanks for clarifying what a crash is for me. Appreciate it. So Shanghai price is holding up. Apparently that's what we're hearing, is that Shanghai is still holding strong, and it's the U.S. Comex paper market getting the little beat down right here. People are taking some money off the table, huh? But it makes folks S their pants, encourage folks to make stupid decisions. Not sure who you're responding to, so it's hard to know. But yeah, if I'll try to figure it out. Kitco is based on the Comex, which in turn is trash paper. Yeah, but I hate to tell you this, but that trash paper also defines every single price that you purchase precious metals at, right? So if you go to your local coin shop, guess what? They might even tack on a premium on top of what the Comex is trading at. So people get to kind of pick and choose their spot prices. In fact, SD Bullion chooses to use a spot price above the current spot price as well. So I don't know what to tell you. It is reality. We can dislike the paper trading as much as we want, but it's what defines the market price that you value your own metals at in your own inventory. You know what I mean? So yeah, big players move in to take people's lunch money. Absolutely. Well, the big players are always in. Just remember that. The big players are always in. They always have a piece of the market, and they can decide when and what they do. And they know exactly how much pressure to put on a market to trigger algorithm trading, which will trigger even further declines and stuff. Like it is the game that is played, and it's the game that is played whenever you want to deal in these markets. And now all of us that sell and buy and put our investment in precious metals, the physical stuff, like the actual real stuff, the reality is that your valuation is being controlled by those same gigantic institutional funds that have trillions of dollars of assets to deploy. The same ones that are buying cryptocurrencies, the same ones that are buying stock markets and indexes and all that stuff, the same ones managing people's pension funds and Social Security. Guess what? They now also control the price of the precious metals. So it's now just all one big happy family, one big game. And guess what? You and I, we do not move the pieces on the board. We're lucky to even have a place on the board. Most of us don't, right? Reality is folks are waking up to replacement value. What will it cost folks to replace their metal that they sell? Yeah, that original Scott, I don't know. Need to scratch that itch and buy a new piece. Do it, real ghetto gamer. I think that, again, if you were waiting for an opportunity to buy, like, we can just go back to the morning, right? You know, this was significant. You know, we were just at 118, 120 not that long ago. And we had that pretty, you know, again, I guess I'm not allowed to call it a crash because it wasn't quite big enough. But whatever. We had this very large drawdown. That was a very significant sizing. But here it is. If you were waiting on some kind of indicator of what might be a good time to buy, I don't know how else to do it. Let me switch the screen over. What's up, Stapler? What's going on? When silver is $200, the price now is less relevant. I used to worry about having bought it. Dude, Lanny plans, 100% me too. 100% me. I did the exact same thing. I was crying about buying silver at $33 and $27 back when it was at those prices, because I was like, what? I was so used to buying between 18 and 20 that I was, you know, I was buying kilos and 10-ounce bars and stuff. And I was like, why am I buying at $30 an ounce? Am I an idiot? What is wrong with me? Well, it worked out. Finally, I can afford to buy more silver. Exactly. My thoughts on what will happen after the U.S. Open. I think we have another down moment at the U.S. Open. Not the golf, you know, but the U.S. Open on the markets. I think we go down again. I think for the day, I don't see us staying down minus 12%. I hope not. Who knows? I mean, I don't really care, to be honest. I'm going to trade it up and down all morning. I just hope, personally, this is what I hope. And I'm sorry if I irritate people with this hope, but this is what I hope happens today. To be quite frank, I hope it goes like this, and 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 I hope it goes like this. And I don't even care where it ends. And you know why? Because I will buy it here and sell it here and sell it here and buy it here and buy it here and sell it here and sell it here and buy it here all morning long on the SLV. And then I'll take anything I gain from all that in US dollars, and I can then decide, do I want to buy some more silver and gold with it? And I'm also, while doing this, I'm going to be buying physical silver and gold today as well. That's my strategy. Tell me yours, right? Like, it's that, I don't know. I don't take it all so serious, right? Like, my entire life isn't bottled up in what the price of precious metals are, but I do enjoy it a lot. Like, it's so much fun just to watch the market and to follow it, and to track it and to, you know, I don't know, to engage with it. That's why I do the channel. Serbian Mike, welcome. Good morning, Toronto here. We're back to the prices we had 5 days ago and rising. Yeah, exactly. I get it. I get your point. Okay, the crash is from 5. I get it. But things are going up fast. Okay, if things are going up super fast, they can go down super fast, right? Those people are controlled by industrial demands, which are accelerating. They are accelerating for sure. Any decent websites to buy silver from at decent prices? Murdy, are you in the United States, or where are you at? If you tell me what country you're at, maybe I can help, or somebody in the chat can help you out. We'll see. As long as silver is not singled out and all commodities get stacked together, it doesn't sting as bad, you know? Yeah, Dotson is exactly right. And right now, again, all marketable asset, I mean, that's not true. Stocks, crypto, precious metals, they all sure seem to be trading in the same general direction, don't they? See, my comments don't get seen if I don't super chat. What are you talking about? Hold on. Don't do that. One of the channels got 100 from one of the reputable bullion dealers, and sorry. Thank you for following up with this. I apologize, Fuzzy. One of the channels got 100 fake American Silver Eagles from one of the reputable bullion dealers, and 3 were fake and weighed correct. Even had the security edge. So, okay, if they weighed the correct weight, that would mean that they were the wrong dimensions. They had to either be thicker or a larger diameter, correct? Because if it was made out of pure silver, it could not, in theory, weigh the exact weight unless some dimension was off. So you're saying we need to be basically checking all of our silver, even from online bullion dealers, with calipers and scales and sound tests, or with sigmas if you've got them. Looks like I'm headed to the
Stay a
LCS today
while
soon.
and
Yeah, I
listen.
get you, real ghetto. Or real ghetto, real gear. We have a channel friend that comes in every now and then. His name is Real Ghetto Gamer. So every time I see the Real Gear Up Survival, that's the name that pops in my head. So sorry about that, Gear Up. We'll see. All right, let me get back there. I think it was 11. I think it was 11%. Yeah. We started the stream at negative 17%. That's where we were at. I woke up to $98 silver and almost fell out of bed. Guy Brooke. Yeah, I mean, that's when, again, I started the stream like right here, like right around this point. And yeah, that's why the title is as extreme as it was. Now it's not so, yeah, whatever. I mean, we are finally doing, wait, did we do the thing that we thought we were going to do? Hey, we did. We did the thing that we talked about it was going to happen, that it didn't happen. Here, look. So again, people can poo-poo charting analysis and stuff, but like, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of right more often than not. And now what you're looking for, if you're taking this trade, if in theory, I'm not telling you to do this, but if in theory I were taking this trade, what I'd be looking for now is this MACD crossover. Now, you're not going to catch, obviously, the perfect top, but if this MACD crosses over and goes negative, then I would probably take out a short position there and then ride that until we get a recursion like back over there. But anyway, look at that. The chart did exactly what we were waiting for it to do. It's fun. Fun times. All right. You like this one? The strong's the best. We all knew there was going to be a drawdown, and now that it's here, we're surprised. No, I don't think anybody's surprised, Serbian. I'll be honest. I don't think one person in the chat has actually said one thing to even like indicate that they were surprised by this. Glenn Hodgson as well. I just missed your subscription. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you that have liked the stream, have checked this out. We do this, typically we do this in the evenings. So the morning streams are a new thing. I just did this because I woke up kind of like somebody else and I saw the price. I was like, you know what? Let's just go on and watch these charts for a little bit and hang out and have a good time. So here we are. That's what I'm doing. Appreciate each and every one of you that is in here. Just again, if you've got your feet up on the coffee table, drinking some coffee, getting ready for work, you got me up on the second monitor, or you're at work right now, I do truly appreciate you for hanging out with me tonight or this morning. Joe is it? It says at a price of $103 spot in the UK, an ounce costs $146 after tax, and so that's with the VAT and the premium. That is rough, man. That is rough. Wow. Yeah. Whew. Somebody else, Vendetta. This is, I'm gonna read this comment out. I'm not implying that it's factual because I don't have any evidence that it is. But you've heard that SD Bullion was selling fakes. Man, if somebody ever receives a fake, you gotta document that. Hopefully, what I would recommend doing is from now on, when you receive your precious metals, whether it's from online, eBay, whatever, if you're getting a package in the mail, I would recommend you get your phone out, or if you've got a computer with a camera, and you record opening the package, taking the metals out and testing them, and you keep them 100% of the time in the camera frame. You never cover them up. You never take them off frame. The whole time you're testing and opening the package, do it while it's all in frame. And then if there's any issues, like they can't just, they can't finagle you and be like, oh, well, we don't believe you. We test everything, blah, 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 blah. Like, you've got the proof, you've got the evidence right then and there. I'm sure they would probably have a pretty good buyback program or refund program. They've got too much money. They're making so much money that they don't care about like a few $1,000s here or there refunded. But I heard also the CEO of, I think it was Scottsdale Mint, I heard him in an interview on YouTube say that, I believe he said this exactly. They have made, hey, have a great weekend, original, geez, originals cult free. Is that what it is? Thanks for being here, man. Have a good day. But he said that they made as much money dollar wise, sales wise, in January as they made in 2025. That's how much demand there is for silver right now. It's unbelievable. Now, obviously, silver's at $100 an ounce. So, you know, and the beginning of 2025, it was what, 35? So I can understand there was a little bit of volume and revenue changes because of the price change. But still, that is a tremendous amount of silver being sold. 1 month equaled the entire last year. That's crazy. Silver Eagle Type 2 is selling for $192 in Australia. Or is it 192 Australian dollars? So the only thing about foreign currency is there's conversions, and I don't know what that converts, like what the Australian dollar converts to the US dollar. I would imagine it's probably in the $130 range. Is that close? I don't know. Thoughts on Goldbacks? Recently been snagging a few, but not sure how I feel about them. Premium but cool. The Real Gear Up Survival. I'm not the biggest fan of Goldbacks, to be honest with you. Personally, I can show you what, like, I don't want to like get too deep into it. That might be a video for itself. I'm not a big fan of Goldbacks. What I do is if I'm buying fractional gold, which is what I believe a Goldback kind of is just a fractional gold piece for bartering and stuff. I buy fractional gold, and that's just the way I like it. However, I will say that I do think that Goldbacks are beautiful. I like what their theme is with like each state and how they try to encapsulate special things about the states. I don't think every one of them has to have like a scantily clad woman to sell it. Like, but it is what it is, right? I don't know. And they're okay. Personally, I just buy fractional gold, like pure gold, or even like Mexican gold or pre-33 gold. That's my version I like. You've been stacking for about a decade. I'm up a few 100%. Yeah, it's awesome. 2 rules: don't sweat the small stuff, and rule 2: everything is small stuff. I like it, Serbian. Yeah, again, don't get drawn into the title as if I'm like I'm freaking out and overreacting here, right? Like I'm just relaxed talking about it. It's no big deal. You're saying the Chinese smuggle things in? That's crazy. Gotta go. Take care, everyone. Take care, Serbian Mike. Thank you guys, everybody who've stopped in for a little bit just to chat about the market. Let me refresh this chart, because anybody that's logging in right now is like, what is going on the screen here? This is what we expect, man. This is what we want to see. Is we want to see these dips and dives. I want to see volatility so that I can trade this stuff and then convert it in there. We got Littlefoot Stacker coming in. I am so far behind on the chat here. I apologize. Thanks for hyping up the crowd there with the likes and the subscribes. Thank you very much. Pang Stockpiles picked up some gold today. Heck yeah, buddy. I'm gonna be picking up. Let's see what the current prices are on all these things real quick. Let's do a quick refresh. So we were like right around $5,040 this morning. We'll see. I do think today is just the perfect opportunity for me to pick up some gold and silver. I will be in the markets for sure, scrounging for deals all over the place. Yeah, Sigma is the best. I do think that I at this point my stacks value is fairly significant. There's no reason why I don't have a Sigma. I just never see them. Like, I don't know really where to buy a Sigma. And then when I see one for sale online, it's sold in like seconds. And the one that I really want to get, I want to get the Sigma that is, it's got the wands, but it displays either on the phone app or on your computer. And I think that would be pretty awesome for doing these types of live streams and these videos where I could show the Sigma's results on the screen instantly, and it would be really cool. XRP Point Guard, thanks for the subscribing as well. Thank you guys. Glenn Hodgson, if I didn't say so. Excuse me. Drink some water real quick. Yeah, original scot-free. Yeah, a watch pot never boils for sure. However, when you're swing trading on the 1 minute, you're watching a lot of pots. You know, it happens. You cannot mine without water. Yep. but you don't need fresh water though, right? You just need any kind of water. Cool breeze. um, oh, it's good stuff. Water everywhere. You cannot mine without water. Well, you can't talk for 4 hours without water either. But we'll see what happens. All right, we're gonna have to say goodbye to my man who loves water. Oh, never mind. Somebody already took care of it. Thanks to whichever mod took care of the water everywhere. I appreciate you. Thank you guys. America is running out of water, especially where our most productive silver mines are. So there's a little bit of validity to it, then, huh? They mine Comstock without water in the early years. Yeah, but it probably makes it a lot easier, sleuthing and stuff. My friend was blessed to be able to see you at. Yeah, Walter hanging out early today. The market is weeding out the weak hands. That's what I'm seeing. Original Scott free. So that is true. But there's been a lot of shakeups of the weak hands, to be quite frank. If you've watched the Comex increasing their margins, that's a big thing that they're doing to shake out the small players. FOMO Baggins thinks, I love that name. FOMO Baggins. Not that anybody else's names are bad, but that name has got to be winning name of the day so far today for me. That's pretty awesome. FOMO Baggins. I lost my train of thought on that one, but whatever. No, thanks, Mac. Appreciate you being here. Thanks again, all of you guys just hanging out. Get rid of the Cool Breeze crown clown. I think they did. Did we get rid of him? I don't know. Did somebody take care of him, or do I need to go back and do it? I thought I saw that he was banned, so I think he's taken care of. Appreciate you guys. Florida Man Racer. In all honesty, that guy's likely been waiting about 50 years longer than you to get some profits. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, if it's more cost effective to use water for mining, which makes sense because, you know, water can go through rocks and separate material. Like, it makes sense to do that. Keeps things cool, all that kind of stuff. I tried to start a retirement fund and lost the opportunity to sell at any kind of profit to stick in a long-term ETF. I don't care about that guy's grandkids. Oh, nice. Take care. I think I'm gonna just scroll down. If I missed your comment, I apologize. I'm getting too far back, which I love the engagement. It makes it fun and exciting to talk about this stuff. So we'll keep going with them. But I do apologize if I do miss your comments. There's a lot going on right now. We are again still kind of on that pullback from the initial dip here. The initial dip was about 17% down to about 97 and 96.80 or so. And we have started to climb our way back, which is good. It's good. Not good if you wanted to get an order in real quick and make some money, but this is good for the overall day of the market where we're probably going to end up. It's Friday also. Fridays tend to have a little bit of this drawdown stuff, which, you know, it is what it is. Not a big deal. I'm not saying anybody. I do need a Sigma sponsor, Littlefoot. I will take that. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I think, again, we've all been talking about how we wanted a dip to happen. We need a dip. You want a dip to buy. Prices are high. There's no clearer dips in the world than when you see 17% down in one day. Could it go down further? Sure. But does it really matter? Not that much. If you're in this for a long haul, personally, I'm in this for the next 20 years, so I don't really care. I'm used to using more of an opportunity to engage with the audience and have some fun and chat more than anything else. So this is just fun, hanging out. So that would be an awesome sponsor. Yeah, I don't know that they why can't they just make more? Doesn't it feel like Sigmas are always hard to find? Am I crazy? Are they really that hard to buy or to make and manufacture? Or did like the companies that make them, did they go out of business or something and now they only sell like secondhand market? Like, what's going on with that?
Listen.
A roll of ASEs could be sold and resold 2 or 3 times before someone. Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that, Fuzzy. That is true because maybe people aren't cracking open a resealed ASE tube because they just assume that they're real and they want that sealed value or something. That could be true. Never thought about it like that, because you see how Tim on Yankee Stacking, when he opens tubes, he just peels back the sticker like real delicately and then opens the tube so that he can peel it back and seal it back up. It wouldn't be that hard for people to do. That's interesting. These stories of fakes is troublesome, Walter. Yeah, absolutely. A fake American Silver Eagles in mass coming from reputable dealers, that's scary. Yeah, definitely make sure you are testing everything. Celeste, Celeste, thanks for subscription. Truth Watcher. I like that name too. Thanks for being here. I'm getting an inheritance this year, so Sigma seems like a smart investment. Yeah, and you know, Sigmas are only what, like $1,500 to $2,000, so they're not that crazy. I think a lot of us are you're probably like me. You're like, man, I could put $2,000 into a piece of equipment, or I could put $2,000 into gold and silver. But at this point, yeah, it's probably a smart move to go ahead and get the Sigma and validate everything. My magnet found 3 fakes last year by itself. Yeah, I have this one right here. I'm not really showing my camera. My camera's in the bottom right, guys, but I have this magnet, which is like my initial like quick test on everything that I do, and then it just sticks right back. And then I have, you know, scales. I have a magnifying microscope, which I use that can magnify and weigh. I have the sound testers. I have calipers. So I feel like I have like everything that I can do except a Sigma. Benzyme is asking, why do I hear that the Comex will shut down when silver climbs a certain percent, but when it goes down 10%, they just let it continue? W2F. Benzyme, that's what we were talking about this morning, earlier. Isn't it funny how when there's a rolling, like there's algorithm that they have for what they call circuit breakers in the Comex for precious metals, for all commodities, but each of them have their own like little rules on what it is. And we sure as heck would have hit a circuit breaker if that price was going up. But I'm looking through here and I don't see any volume drops or any gaps that indicate to me that a circuit breaker happened. So I don't know. I mean, absolutely, in this little 2-hour span or 1-hour span, when it dropped 17% or whatever it was, a circuit breaker should have halted trading. But I didn't see it happen. Logan B, rise and grind, baby. Grab a shot of espresso and sprint out the door butt naked into the snow. That kind of Logan B. Is that how you wake up, sir? Anyway, welcome. Thanks for being here. Cheaper than a Sigma. You know what's cheaper than a Sigma is not getting stuck with a bunch of fake stuff that you don't find out until you go and sell. That would be horrible. Just bought my SLV this morning. Now we wait. Yeah, Meister Bojangles. I'm about to, as soon as I get off, we're gonna be trading the old SLV and a few other things that I'm gonna be looking at that I'd like to kind of dip into. So that'll be fun once we do it. We'll get it for sure. Today is going to be a fun little trading day. I'm excited about it, and I'm also gonna be picking up some metals, some real raw metal. Does the crackhead wake up and say, I can't get high today because I'm broke? No, they make it happen. Don't let a crackhead hustle you today, guys. Littlefoot Stacker is out there, like, Littlefoot out there. He wants you going out there, picking up half-smoked cigarette butts, aluminum cans, plastic bottles, and doing whatever you can to make enough cash to get down to the local coin shop and pick you up some silver. Don't let the crackhead on the corner out hustle you, boys and girls. You heard it right there from Littlefoot first. I love it. Scale, micrometer, magnet, pinger will catch 99% of fakes. Yeah, I found like the most fakes that I've caught are with the pinger. The audio pinger, especially if you get the dimensions right, is just really good. Physical owner, so I'm just not going to the Winchester for a pint and wait for it. David Walker, are you in are you in the UK or Europe or something? But yeah, there you go. Just save your beer money for some silver right now. I like it. Shanghai is okay. So Shanghai Fuzzy did come down a little bit from 130 down to 123.26, but we are at 102. So we have a $21 disparity between the US pricing and the Shanghai pricing, folks. That is a very serious amount of difference there. I could absolutely see some, entities, some foreign entities hopping into the market to try to take advantage of this right now. I wonder what's going to happen. So, I totally forgot. You guys, I was supposed to talk about this chart, wasn't I? So I wanted to talk about this chart. If you're not familiar with this, this is the CME Group Comex's open volume chart of their precious metals. And by the way, there are deliveries happening in January. They killed this chart. If you watched any of my older videos, there used to be deliveries listed for this month of January, all sorts of things. They wiped January clean. Let me just say this: 98,000 open interest, currently active contracts for the March contracts is a massive, massive amount of silver. Each one of these contracts is 5,000 ounces of silver, and there are currently 98,000 open. This has been well over 100,000 as well throughout the month of March. Also, look down here. May and July are now picking up a ton of contracts as well. And the last time we looked at this, May and July were not very large. Normally, standard, just so you know what standard is, average is like in this range, 3,500. Why is this stupid? Stay up there. Get off the screen. Get up. It keeps dropping down over what I'm trying to show. Average is more like $2,000 to $3,000, 2,000 to 3,000 contracts. If you look at 2024 and 2025's contracts, which we've done as well in the past, that's the standard. We're talking 98,000, which means that if there's only like 435 million standing ounces for delivery registered silver, there is a chance that this entire system absolutely just completely breaks down in March, May, July. I mean, I wasn't even talking about May in the past because it looks like some of these contracts are rolling over, which is to be expected. But this is a ton of contracts, a ton of contracts. Yeah, that guy Brooke. So you're saying that it's up to 490 million ounces? It does change. There are the 490 million though. They're not even all registered for delivery. That's the other thing though. That's just like total inventory. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but this is gonna get buck wild in March. So I'm just watching and waiting on the sidelines, just like, well, not like I'm not on the sidelines as in like not being involved, but on the sidelines as in like I'm out of control. Jesus, take the wheel, so to speak, here, because this is going anywhere. You like the Deckard Cain? Yeah, Deckard Cain from Diablo. Stay a while. Listen, yeah, that's my subscription notification sound, so I know when somebody subscribes. So it's awesome. I bought some call options yesterday. I'm going to get eviscerated. Ouch, Logan B. You are absolutely going to get eviscerated if you got them in the SLV or miners or things like that. Hopefully you've got an expiration date that's far out, like as in months, so that you can weather some of that. I hope, but yeah, sometimes we're on the wrong side of the trade, my friend. It happens. Don't be scared about it. Just do what's best for you, man. Silver of silver, 1981. We will see when all the markets open. Yep, that's what we got to check for. When all the Western markets open up, U.S. markets, we'll see what happens. No worries. I'm not worried. I'm a buyer. I'm a long-term holder. I'm not a diamond fister though. I'm happy to part with some pieces of my metals and trade them into other pieces of metals. I'm currently in a trade for gold, and my focus on purchasing is primarily in gold right now. So that's what we're doing. The great silver scam, spike price FOMO, then rug pull. Yeah, there you go, D-Belv. I hear you, man. It's possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible. I think you were up there earlier saying something about $70 silver incoming. I wouldn't mind. I really, really, really wouldn't mind if we went. I had too many charts open. If we went back to, let's go to the 6-month chart. Oh my gosh, look at the 6-month chart. This is too much. That's just too much. I would have no problem at all, guys, just going and like balancing out somewhere in this range or even this range and staying there for 3 years and then going back up, maybe 5 to 10% a year. I would have no problem with that at all. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're along for the ride, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just hope that we don't see some giant head and shoulders pattern form and it all goes back down to $15 an ounce. That would suck. Don't buy any of those Sigmas for $2,400 on eBay from that Hong Kong seller with 0 review. Yeah, good point, Dotson. Never buy from online eBay sellers that have for me, they have to have at minimum 1,000 reviews or ratings or whatever it is. That's my minimum. And that's normally for small orders, like, $100 orders and stuff. If I'm buying thousands of dollars, I'm buying from people with like tens of thousands of reviews and transactions. I don't play that game. The risk I took was calculated, but I am bad at math. It happens, man. Don't worry about it. Get back at the wheel. That's the thing about trading is you don't win every single trade. I've had a couple bad trades this week. I had a couple really good ones last week. I had a really good one that I nailed exactly. The charting pattern was like exactly perfect. I called every single piece of it perfect and made 39% in 30 minutes. So you just keep rolling with the punches. But I think today's looking like a juicy trading day. That's all I know. We'll see. All right, everybody. Thank you absolutely so much for coming in and checking out this little humble channel. We do live streams typically in the evenings. So this is a new special one to go early in the morning. Picked up some new silver and gold recently. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going live on a podcast to talk about SHTF scenarios and what items would be good, like our realistic expectations of how they would play out over the short term, midterm, long term. What items would be necessary in each different situation, et cetera, et cetera. I think it'll be a fun discussion. We'll be doing that live so everybody can hang out with us. I really don't have much else for you today. I'm going to go get some coffee, get my family's day started, get ready for work. Appreciate you guys. God bless all of you. I hope that you all have prosperity in your future, whether you're on this thing for the downside or the upside. I feel like as a trader, I can go both ways, but for the metals themselves, if you don't know, I'm a long-term holder of this stuff. And I believe in them long-term as a hedge against the digital currencies, a hedge against inflation, bank manipulation. This is my protection for my wealth. So thank you guys. Awesome crowd today. Thanks for all the engagement. Thanks for all the support. Fuzzy Balls, Vegas Stacker, Red Cloud, all of you doing super chats and channel memberships, all the subscriptions, all the likes. You guys are the best, man. I will see you guys on the next live stream. And hopefully you found a place that you feel that you can be heard and respected in your opinion. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Peace.